Hello, this is Eleanor.
Hello, this is Phil.
And you're listening to a dad
and his daughter figuring out ADHD
out loud. I'm already laughing.
Oh dear. Hello.
What really annoys me about podcasts.
We're going straight for
you start and it's just two people giggling.
Yeah.
Hello. Where were we? We were talking about being diagnosed with ADHD, which you got done in September.
Yep.
And I literally was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
was it that?
That's all it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and
so we
because
didn't.
You'd got diagnosed and we chatted and you explained what it was, and I said,
Well, you were going through. Yeah. Were you also going through all my questionnaires for me? And you obviously said as well that you didn't have anybody to ask, so you had to do it all.
Yeah. So I did it, but I was took it to the doctors, filled the forms in, did the thing, and had that lovely interview. Anyway, before we go on, sort of say hello if there's anybody watching.
Hi.
I don't mean if anybody's watching. Obviously, loads of people are watching. But for the people,
what are you on about?
For the people watching,
we're everywhere. We're on
we'll
Instagram.
Let you know details towards the end of the chat.
Yes. So
anyway, let's talk about me.
Let's talk about you. It's not all about you, right?
It's not all about me because this is a dad and his daughter. It's about both of us.
But today it is all about you.
Well, it's not really, because I want to talk about how people react, especially my generation. I was wondering whether it was the same for your generation. In my generation, obviously, it was not. I said before, you're either lazy or stupid or naughty or whatever.
Yeah.
And ADHD has this sort of, oh, really? Yeah.
And actually, that isn't just your generation. That is across my generation too. Because again, the stigmatism of you're naughty, you're lazy is still there.
Yeah.
So for an adult to say, I have ADHD, and being obviously out and being
isn't that what children have?
And that's like a child thing, isn't it? And also because you can function. So I've got 2 children. Yeah. I'm at work. All of that.
So do you get that thing where no, you haven't?
Yeah,
because
I'm functioning. As a person, they go, no, you haven't.
Yeah. I love how you stop yourself saying as an adult. You can't quite bring yourself to say as an adult.
Because I didn't think we were going to touch on this.
I go from child to old man straight off. I missed out the adult bit.
Internally, so age-wise, I'm 37, 36, whatever we said. But internally, I don't feel that.
What you'll find is that never leaves you.
Okay.
And I do a lot of work with older people, and even people in their 80s, 90s, even heading towards 100, they still think they're kids.
So I don't
teenagers.
feel like my age at all.
No,
so I'm hoping that stays with me, because I don't feel like it's a shock to say I'm almost 40. Because in my head, I'm going, no, you're not.
Might be a shock to you. It's even more shocking for your parents.
Absolutely. Again, because obviously I'm at work, I've got children. They literally pinpoint you in a box and say, nah.
Yeah, and I've been doing a job for 34 years now, and it's the same job, and I do it reasonably well. But
then people who know you...
We'll have another session talking about work and the pressures of work, but it's this fascinating people who know me and people who don't know me, but even people who know me are wary of accepting that, oh, you've got ADHD.
Yeah, so you've got
It's almost as if it's like, what do you want that for?
Yeah.
What do you want to have that for?
So
you can't
I
have
would say you've got boxes. You've got boxes that are people who have known you all your life. You've got boxes of people who have known you just through work, family, friends that you've met along the way.
And I've got loads of boxes of crap that I can't throw away.
Well, there is that, yeah.
I've got loads.
I can't help you with that one. And then you've got boxes of people who have no idea who you are, but assume that they do.
Oh, yeah,
so
there's a lot of those.
You've got the people who have grown up with you. When you say you've got ADHD, go, oh, of course you have, which is really warming to feel like actually they've known a lot longer than maybe yourself or what have you, for you to kind of go, okay, that's great,
okay. It's interesting that you've noticed it and whatever. Yeah.
Because when you told some of your friends who had known you for a long time, like through college and stuff, went, well, what do you think?
So some have gone, yeah, whatever. Others are very quite skeptical, and there's a sort of sense of, oh, have you? That's That's interesting. There's a huge response that goes, well, why, what difference does that make?
And that's the other thing you've got people going, but why now?
So why now, and what difference is it going to make to you?
And they're kind of come in pairs, like, but it's that kind of to try and explain it to somebody who's not been through it and why you've gone through it is really difficult.
It was this explaining of people. It's when people come in and say, oh yeah, well, we're all neurodiverse. We've all got differences.
That annoys me greatly. It's like, we've all got a bit of it. Yes, we have, but I've got it written.
We're trying to explain, and it's so difficult. It's only when you meet other people with ADHD in various forms that you go, no, you understand that, that my head is crowded with stuff, which I don't know, believe is the same crowding as other people. Other people say, oh, but I'm busy. I've got a thing. I find it hard to finish things. I find it hard to do things. And they come up with, and I think they're trying to hold me and look after me and say, you're not normal. You're just lovely. But I quite like being weird and odd. In the diagnosis, I was quite, she was asking what difference would it make, and I was saying what I don't want to do is I don't want to be medicated. I don't particularly, because I've coped so well for so long, I don't particularly want to change behaviour patterns. I've tried so often over the years. I don't want to change behaviour patterns because that will change who you makes me who I am. But it's still trying to get to people that the stuff going on in my head with information and with creativity and with tasks that need finishing and doing, which at best it's like just a cloud form that just keeps moving and going, oh, that. At worst, it just locks.
Yeah. And this is the thing is, with ADHD, we like to verbally say things out loud.
Verbally say things out loud?
Verbally say things out loud.
How do you say things out loud without doing it verbally?
Okay. In your head?
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
In your head. In your head.
Great. We've gone to karaoke with ADHD. No, we haven't. Not at all. That's a different podcast.
ADHD karaoke.
Woo! Woo! What I mean is, when you're doing a task of something and you're trying to process it, you're verbally saying it out loud.
I see.
And then people come to you and go, well, stop panicking. I'm like, I'm not panicking.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not panicking. I'm just processing everything.
And it almost saying out loud takes a bit of it out and puts it over there.
It kind of releases your brain of all this piles of crap that's in your head or stuff going on. It just said to say it out loud, puts it somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. It just releases it.
Just kind of goes, right, I now got a bit of headspace because I've said that out loud. But then the reaction I get from my husband is, stop panicking about it. I'm like, I'm not. I just need to verbally say it. And my mum does it too.
Well, part of it is verbally saying it with a tension in your voice.
But even
if
so,
you did it with a smile on your face. And
if you sang
a little song in between and going, I'm just going to put this down here, sorted there. Oh, and then I need to go and pick the kids up from the school.
Yes,
whatever.
Maybe I should say.
I'm going to pick the kids up from the school.
But then that is my raccoon.
Raccoon? You have a raccoon?
Have you not ever thought of yourself like with
as a raccoon? No, I've never thought of myself as a raccoon. Or any other kind of woodland creature.
This episode is now sponsored by raccoons. Our last one was sponsored by squirrels.
Squirrels and raccoons. No, I'm no.
So as in like my because my brain just goes. It's like I've got a raccoon in my head.
Okay.
And it's sort of like it doesn't want to be angry. It just is because your brain just feels so full, and you want to get it out. So you just go at everyone, which
I can do at times. I mean, poor Jo, your mum, my wife.
My wife, sorry,
they're my wife. I think we want to be careful on copyright there. We better not go down that line. I mean, she bears the brunt of it. I don't know if Dave does the same, but so it's Jo will get snapped at.
Oh yeah.
When there's too much in my head, and she might say, "Oh, can you just put this away or whatever? Or can you print that out for me?"
Always
go, no.
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
It's almost like they know when to say it.
I'm not blaming them for anything at all. They've suffered enough.
But it's almost like they have that moment. They could have said it at any other point. Because Dave does it too.
Just as you've got it, and you're just trying to...
Yeah. And then
because your brain is like...
just do that. No, I can't, because I'm just trying to...
I don't know if your brain is like those puzzles where you have to slide pieces around to try and make a picture. Well, it could be Tetris, but no, I'm thinking...
You're old schooling.
I'm thinking about a bit of plastic from probably from Taiwan. Where you have to slide all the squares around to make a picture. And there's only and there's only one space available. To try and sort it, you have to keep moving around.
Yeah.
And it's as you're trying to do that, is say, oh, can you fit this piece in as well? You go, no, I can't handle the...
Yeah, no,
it's not
Dave
a great
does it
analogy.
too, but I've got a feeling it's just like they obviously don't have ADHD. I
know they're just getting on with their lives.
Just
can you just do that?
Yeah.
And the normal response would be, yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And when you catch me in the right place, then I go, yeah, that's lovely. That's fine. No problem. But there are just key moments when your head has got too much in it.
But then do you find that when your head has sorted out, it's not as bad as your brain first thought?
Always.
So
yeah.
You kind of go, I've got so much to think about, so much to do. And then actually when you start doing it.
Yeah, I know you do the same things I do, which is you put one thing in the diary and that's your whole day gone.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though the thing might take 40 minutes.
Yeah, but my brain doesn't think it's going to take 40 minutes. My brain catastrophizes and goes, but what if there's traffic? Then you've got to do this. And then... Yeah.
So is that what you describe as the raccoon?
Yeah,
the raccoon. Yeah. So I've used words like mush.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever used trifle, but trifle would be the right sort of thing.
What with custard?
So what life needs to be is you need to sort the cream out over there, and that over there needs some custard. And if you can put fruit down there, and if you can put some
your lady fingers over,
put my lady fingers over there. Never called them lady fingers. What? I don't even know what.
That's what they're called.
I've heard them called. I just refuse to use the word. I will have no lady fingers in my trifle. Thank you very much. I do not wish.
No lady fingers was hard in the making of my trifle. I do not wish
to buy lady fingers. I do not wish to eat lady fingers. I would rather sponge fingers. I'm happy with sponge fingers. Sponge fingers sort of implies some sort of whoa, go Jays. Some sort of sponge finger. Fine. Lady fingers. Whole different ball game. About I do not want lady fingers in my pudding.
That's
Thank
like green eggs and ham. You will not try them, Sam.
Again, you're back on copyright. We can't go down there. That's somebody else's work. No, what was I saying? Who knows? Yeah, it's like life is, your job is to put all these things in their right place. And what I have in my head is a trifle. Now you try and separate the cream from the custard, from the fruit, from the
it ain't happening.
Soft sponge fingers. It becomes it just becomes a mush. So that's why I call it this mush, which is not always there. And that's the thing. So I'm going to try and get us back onto other people's reactions. And that's the bit that I find really difficult to explain to people. Because people say, oh, well, I get stressful days. I have a busy day. I have a lot of thoughts in my head. And you sort of, I think there's something about ADHD, which means it gets so mushed up and so entangled that it
because I get well, you're a parent. So like that's being a parent. Having that,
that's being a parent.
Like
that's
juggling several plates, it's like, well, I do that all the time, so I must have a. It's like no, because a child screaming and while another one is talking at you, and then something else like the TV is going. So it all becomes too much.
How do you describe the difference between? That's what everybody has. Everybody has TV, kids moaning, this to be done, housework sorted, husband's coming home or wife's coming home or whatever's needs sorted. Everybody has that amount of work to sort. So it's how do you get across to somebody that there's something else going on in my head, which is not as simple as sorting out all the tasks.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Not that simple.
No,
sorry,
obviously
I didn't mean to denigrate anybody
who's. But I think it's the kind of people. So you've got some people who are a bit skeptical about ADHD and the fact that that they say,
Is it even a thing?
It doesn't exist. But then there are some people who say it doesn't exist, and then when you try your best to explain it, they're enlightened.
Oh yeah.
So
no,
you do
which is the point of this podcast.
Well, absolutely,
For
because we are normal people.
Please, if you have ADHD, please share this podcast with your friends and family who may not have it or understand it, and that's hopefully this is in some chaotic, trifly ladyfinger way. Maybe
with a raccoon.
To explain it with a raccoon eating. What you don't want is a raccoon eating your ladyfingers. Anyway,
did you just say that? That's not.
Well, I get this thing of sometimes I picture it like when I go and say to somebody, "Oh, I've just broken my leg. I've got a broken leg," and they go, "Everybody has sore legs." And you go, "No, it's not. It doesn't work in the way."
Yeah,
running around for a long time gives you sore legs. Running around with a broken leg, it's hard work.
It's also kind of if I try to explain it to anybody in my way, they're not going to understand it.
Because it's
my way of explaining it. So again, if I've got a hungry raccoon, as I like to call my ADHD, and I go, but it's like having a raccoon in your head, those people are actually going to assume, they try and picture a full raccoon.
And a raccoon wouldn't fit in your head.
Exactly. But it's not an actual, obviously it's not an actual.
I'm glad you told me that, Eleanor. I was wondering whether it was an actual raccoon
I can
in your head.
say these things to you because you get it. You understand. But again, if I was to say this in a normal conversational way to somebody, they'll think I'm balmy. They'd be like, "Are you all right?" And going back to the medication, not everybody wants to be medicated. Not everybody needs to be medicated.
Especially because I'm old.
Not everybody needs to be medicated. So some people, yes, will just calm.
And I think you and I have to always accept, I'm not saying we have it mildly because I've been quite ill with it over the years, but we have it.
And I think that's something else we'll probably.
Well, we can cope with it.
We can cope with it.
Or to some extent. I mean, sometimes we can't.
I mean, you're not going down the medicine route. I'm looking into it purely because on top of it, there's the anxiety. I have got anxiety and depression.
Okay. Yeah.
And actually being on my medicine for my anxiety and depression kind of calms my ADHD down.
I'm going to stop you there.
I wasn't going to,
Let's stay on the raccoon and how
the raccoon people, and the trifle.
How the people recognise the raccoon.
So I'm quite lucky in the fact that my friends just have accepted who I am.
Yeah.
Which is great. I, for a long time, was just like, this is me. I've got to deal with it. I've got to just grow up with it. I find ways of...
When you say grow up with it, as in I've got to live with it, or do you mean I've got to get better and be more grown up about it?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, I think, is without the diagnosis beforehand, I found ways of doing things that wouldn't alert anybody to know.
Right, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And therefore, because of how long it was, it's just a way of life for me now.
Yeah.
So in terms of having conversations in bigger groups, I've learned how to just not talk or stay quiet, which is hard work.
That's a weird switch, isn't it? It's that sense of sometimes you just talk, and
but it
then
depends
other
on who
times
I'm
you
with.
shut down completely and just
withdraw.
So I do that
one-on-one. I'm talking because I know when to not when to stop, but it's easier to work out a conversation pattern with somebody. If I'm in a bigger group of people, I can get quite disruptive in the sense, not in I'm going to throw a tantrum in the middle of the room because no one's focusing on me, blah, 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 but in the sense of my brain wants to say something in relation to the conversation that several other people are having. And if I don't say this thing in my head now, when they come to me about it in about 5 minutes, when they would have sensibly finished.
And you get that awful social faux pas, to use a bit of French, where you're having a conversation and you hear somebody over there say something that is is sort of triggers in your head.
Oh, yeah. So you end up having a conversation about what they're having.
You either desperately try and keep this conversation going,
yep,
and you're not listening to a word they're saying because you're actually tuned in over there.
And
worse is that thing where you're chatting, and then you start talking to the one over there and completely block out that person because you've now suddenly gone over.
Oh, yeah.
To
the amount of times that I've gone, oh, sorry, I was talking to you, wasn't I? Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah.
But I don't know whether you might remember, because obviously, but you might not. We get told off by my mum, Jo, quite often.
You do, because you're a daughter, so it's her right to tell you off.
she can tell me off. But I know you're doing it too, is when we're in a cafe.
Oh, absolutely.
Or
sitting
having
to everybody else in the room.
You kind of like look across the room at another couple, family, because they're kicking off, and you're like, oh. Yeah. And I don't know, but so I have no concept of me just going completely zoning out and just be like,
oh, well, you used to, you were famous for when you were 4 or 5, you would take you to the playground and you would just stand in the playground and stare at the other children. We would have to go, Eleanor, stop staring. Eleanor, stop staring. Because you just get lost in this observation of what everybody else in the playground was doing. I don't know if you were ever overwhelmed by what was going on, but certainly you were trying to take everything in by watching
obviously,
it.
I don't know for 4-year-old me what my brain was thinking at the time. I can say for myself now that it's probably me just taking in everything. There are lots of people out there that are very cynical of ADHD.
You get the feeling, they don't say it, nobody's ever said it to me, but you get the feeling of, and maybe this is just sort of hangover from my mum, of, you're nothing special. Why do you think why do you think you got something special,
or you get that
something
you haven't
different?
got ADHD, that doesn't exist.
There's either you haven't got it, it doesn't exist, or you haven't got it actually because I don't know you well enough.
Yeah.
Or because actually you will have, in your professional environment and me in my professional environment, we apply all our coping strategies and our functioning strategies. So, of course, you don't think I've got ADHD because I'm working and I haven't let it out, as it were.
We might touch on it a bit in another podcast, but do you find you're more tired by an end of the day if you've been with people who don't know you?
Exhausted.
Because you're kind of what most people would call masking. Like we mask it.
Yeah, I'm masking all the time.
And therefore you're exhausted, but not exhausted from doing anything.
In particular. No, absolutely masking
but
for others. And therefore they look at you very suspiciously.
Again.
I think one of the best responses was very good friends who are very kind and desperately trying to understand. And they will mask their own reactions because I'm important to them, so they mask. And I literally couldn't work out whether they were on the I'm not so suspicious, I'm not so sure, or whether they were just absorbing what I was saying because they were concerned and they wanted to know. I really couldn't tell, but I did know that when I said what I want to say now is because I've discovered this. Helps me explain, or helps me help you understand all the times I've ignored you or walked away or talked over you or made it look like I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
This is why. And you could see a little trigger go, oh yeah.
I think that was the interesting thing for those people that I included in obviously some nice family friends of ours filled in the form. And at first they were a bit like, really? Do we really think you've got ADHD?
Yeah,
really? I don't.
It's almost protective, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't want to be like, well, yeah, of course you have. We've known for ages. Like, seriously, come on. Yeah. But it wasn't until they read through the questions, and obviously they both did it, so they both got different answers, which was really intriguing, that they kind of was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
actually.
Anyway, I think it's time we got to wrap up. We've talked about raccoons and ladyfingers. I think that's enough for anyone.
Raccoon eating, no.
But
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the chat. And we'll come back. And some of this stuff, we'll do childhood, as I said before. Anybody out there, if you want to respond in whatever format,
yeah, so we're on Instagram now. And we have an email.
ADHD.outloud@gmail.com.
So if you want to ask us any questions.
Or give us a subject to talk about.
Give us something to talk about.
Just lay off the ladyfingers.
And the raccoons.
Yeah, until next time.
I'll see you later.
I don't know what you have to do. What do they have to do until next time? Have they got a project or homework to do?
No.
Please send your pictures to pictures of
trifles.
Raccoons and trifles would be lovely. Please
no.
don't. Please don't.
Don't fill our inbox with that. Anyway.
Goodbye. Thanks for the chat.
Yes.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Music written by Benjamin Tissot, supplied by bensound.com. Free music for videos. A Dad and His Daughter podcast is a Perfect Little Gentleman production.